Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam.
Hold it, stop the music!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Can I please have your attention?
Now showtime, are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
What it do, people? Yes, we're going to get in here. I don't know why I said Burbank for a split second, but we are here to do this live demo thing so you guys can know what's going on. Let's go. Let me just close a couple of things. What's up, Beto in the building? Let's turn this. It's you. I didn't touch anything. I'm also addressing the mic sideways. Let's go. All right, cool. We're set. We're ready. We are ready. Welcome to the live demo. We're going to pop into the old, what do you call this thing? Live demo mode. Yeah, that's what it's called. Anyway, so if you have questions, if you're brand new, kind of sort of new, still learning, whatever, let us know. Drop them in the comment section below. Make sure you add a Q colon to do your thing. And then, yeah, we'll be good to go. All right, so this is sort of what it looks like when you open up Ecamm. You have a bunch of panels open, but for the purposes of this demo, I closed them all because, in theory, if you have your show set up and you use your arrow keys on your keyboard, command forward and back, you can run your show with those windows closed. And why does that matter? Because some people like to say, oh, there's too many buttons and it freaks me out, right? So don't be freaked out. Close all the panels. You don't need them, right? I'll go back and get this stuff ready to go. I can do that. You know, the whole show right there without worrying about pressing anything that's on the screen. So it's if it bothers you, close the panel. Don't look at them. It's so simple. Now, of course, we're not going to be able to do this without the comments open, so that way you can see. Yes, that's how. All right, so John Michael, let me ask you a question. I use a CalDigit Thunderbolt TS4 hub as my master hub because most people have weak sauce, underpowered hubs, and that's where they generate the majority of their problems. You want a hub that has a little bass, so CalDigit, Pluggable, Belkin, Kensington, Anchor, OWC. If it says anything other than that, send it back. All right. And then I have CalDigit Thunderbolt hub connected to that. So sorry, let me fix my English. The first one was a dock. It's super important. There's a massive difference between a hub and a dock. Don't get them confused. So I have the Elements hub first, right? Because that's just how you should do it. So I have the CalDigit Elements hub plugged in first. Then in the other Thunderbolt port, I have the CalDigit TS4 dock. And then in the CalDigit hub, if I find myself needing more, listen, hold on. We're gonna have to get into some science. All right. We're gonna start out the gate with some science. It doesn't matter that it only has 4 ports because Thunderbolt is daisy chainable up to 128 devices. So I can take this hub. Let me grab the cable. Bad example. No, not here we go. This is a bad example because this is a USB cable, but you'll get the Thunderbolt hub. Thunderbolt hub. I have 5 available Thunderbolt ports now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can daisy chain these 127 deep, 128 deep, technically. So, yeah. The reason why this is not an extension cord, okay? I don't know how to explain this to people, but this is not an extension cord. This is a hub. The amount of electricity and data that has to get processed through this tiny little box, it is not an extension cord where you can just have like old USB-A. USB-A was slow. USB-A was low power. USB-A was 5 watts. These are, you got 40-watt connectors on here. Most of them only spit out 15 to 20, but you can go upwards of 40 watts on these things. Matter of fact, if you look at a power brick, that's a 96-watt USB-C / Thunderbolt / USB 4 connection. So the amount of info, data, power, everything that has to go through here, it's not like, oh, just give me all the holes and it's going to work. Every Thunderbolt hole that you see, that one chip can handle 2 holes, right? So you say, well, there's 3 because the other hole is here to plug it to the computer. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on this particular one, right? Same here. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this particular one. So 1 goes to the computer, that gives me 3 available. If I daisy chain it, I'll stick this to that to into here. So that's going to steal 1, but I'm going to end up with, some more available, right? I'll end up with another 3 available because I can daisy chain the back of this one to the front of this one, and then so I'll get 5 total. But they have to work in pairs, and the chips that are in there aren't cheap, right? It's mitigating data. It's not an extension cord. And that's the reason why even back in the day, I just gave you all my top recommendations. I'm going to say this again. Anchor, pluggable, Kensington, OWC, CalDigit. If it says anything other than that, give it the finger. Simple. They all the same. As a matter of fact, my OWC one is in my... it's in my box right now. I don't see it naked. But if you look at these two, this is a pluggable and Anchor. You can tell they're identical. Like they all have the same basic circuit board inside. Pluggable chose not to put a USB-A. But I mean, they're identical twins. I've shown on many occasions, if I stack up all 5 brands, with the exception of CalDigit, all the holes are in the exact same spot. They're the same logic board inside. Don't get caught over brands, but then also don't buy any BS you never heard of before. Just don't, because this is a very valuable. Oh, here it is. Hey girl, hey. It's a very valuable part of your stream. Okay, here it is. CalDigit, pluggable anchor. Look at the hole alignments. Look at the power supply plug-in. Any idiot can move a power button to try to be cute, but they just did that so that way, whatever. The other ones don't even have a power button. So Anchor put this power button there to say something on Amazon to make it look like it's different from the other. Also, these are in the back. Anchor added a USB-A, sort of irrelevant, but CalDigit was smart and they rerouted their plug to the side because it just looks cuter on the desk. But they're identical. Through this entire sweltering heat right here, these bad boys are the same. If I stack the OWC on top of that, same. So, matter of fact, right now I wouldn't buy the CalDigit one because it's $229, just due to the fact that everybody wants one, and you can buy the OWC one for $99 to $129. So anyway, that piece goes first, and then you can put your little CalDigit $400 extension cord with all the extra holes. But let's wind this back. What are we plugging in that needs that many holes? I did it. I have it before. I was psycho, and I'm looking at it now, and I'm trying to get rid of 80% of the stuff I got plugged in over here because I feel like there's way too much stuff plugged in, and it don't need to be like that. You can consolidate things. How do you consolidate things? Well, the Rodecaster Pro went a long way to consolidating things. It only requires one plug, and it does a bunch of other stuff. Something like the Streamer X, right? It only requires one plug now because I've turned that capture card hole that was a cam link into that. If you got more than one camera, I hate to break the news to you, but DeckLink is the move. And yes, it's $800-900, but you want to have 4 cameras. Does your audience give a crap that you have 4 cameras? No. Most people have 4 cameras out of their vanity. Very few people actually need 4 cameras, right? I have 2. Now, I used to have 6, but I'm tired of playing with it, right? I'm tired of fighting cam links. So until I get the DeckLink, I'm not even going to sweat it. I have my overhead, which is a USB, and I have the standard camera, which is in the front. And so, yeah, just kind of that stuff just, it's a rabbit hole. And most people don't need all of that stuff. Most people can do their entire streams with a single camera and it's competing against other streamers and not really bringing any value to your audience. So there's that. The DeckLink does work so well. There are definitely people that need it, but hey, you know what, Paul? It is part of the demo because people have questions, and so there it is. So deal with it. All right. I saw Beto's question. There before Ecamm existed, that existed. So yes, you can absolutely do it. I'll show you. The reason why you just never see me talk about it is because it gets irritating really quickly. Here, let me open up my scenes window. All right, Beto, I want to answer your question in the process of building the next scene. How about that? It's super simple, though. It's very simple. Stick around. All right, so anyway, I like to think of this as, the house, the room, the furniture motif. So profiles are your houses. That's where you get in, and you can have myriad houses in your setup. Right now, we're doing an Ecamm demo, and I, again, closed all the windows so that people don't freak out, because I know Maggie's in the chat, and she was like, oh, there's too many buttons. Cool, close all the buttons. Don't use them. Just use the ones that you need, right? I'm pretty positive I've heard that statement come out of her and many other people. She's not by herself. So if you want to get rid of the buttons, close them. Don't stare at them. You don't need them. All right, there you go. Until you need them. So now I'm going to bring up my scenes window. Scenes are like your rooms. In this particular setup, I have 3 rooms set up currently. I have, boom, my intro scene, my whole scene. So we're going to stick with this, and now we're going to build a new scene and include the overlay that Beto was talking about. Anyway, so we got this. I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus sign to make a new scene. Yours is going to end up looking like that. LMGTFY. You guys remember that? LMGTFY. Anybody remember what is LMGTFY? There you go. Anyway, I'm going to open up my overlays panel. Overlays panel is what we consider furniture, right? In this particular setup here, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to remove all the furnishings from this room. So let's kill this QR code. We now need that. And then we're going to remove all the furnishings from this room. These are my area rugs. Gone. All right. So when I zoom back out, you see that I basically have black. Why? Because this has no furniture in it whatsoever right now. So I have a folder on my computer. There you go. Thank you, Paul. Now, now send the LMGTFY link. There you go. All right, so in here, I'm going to grab this background. If I pop it here, you'll notice it's right in the current scene. So what does that mean? If I go back to this scene, it's nothing there, right? If I were to create another scene on top of this scene, there's nothing there. So what we want to do is, let me fix this, GUEST, and then I'm gonna make a note. I'm just naming my scenes because it's easy to get lost. Where'd you go? Plus sign. There you go. All right. So going back to here, I've added this in this particular scene. But if I go to this scene, there's nothing there. So how do we fix that? I'm going to drag it into the area that says show in the background. And now, no matter which scene I go to, it's available. All right. So let's go ahead and make this, let's do the host and guest scene real quick. I'm going to grab a camera from the overlays panels. I have the ability to put in images, animations, screen share, text, clocks, not really clocks, countdowns, widgets. That's the important one. Beto, pay attention to that. And then camera overlay. So we're going to press camera overlay. Oh, love it. Love it. All right, cool. So we're going to throw this camera here, and then there is the camera. All right. I'm going to prettify this because it's just me. Give it a little bit of corner radius. In here, you'll see I have some corner. Come back, pencil. I have some corner radius capabilities. Let's call that 12. I'm going to add me a border. Let's call that 8. And now we're cooking with Pam. All right. I like squircles, so I have wide, classic, square, circle, squircle, tall, custom. I normally use squircle and custom. That is just my tradition around these here parts. So we're going to put this here, and this is going to be my host overlay panel. That's what I was looking for. So you see there's a little blue line right here that goes through the center. That just means, yo, man, you got these things lined it up, all right? So before we go a step further, let me go ahead and do my text box love. Oh, I don't know why. Mine loves to open on the extra screen over there. It drives me batty. All right, let's type this out real quick. All right, we're going to add this. Shoo-coo. Now, I'm going to unembiggen this to a size that looks dope. And then you do what you want. I like to pull this out to about 75, 80%. Don't know why, it's just a thing. Been doing this for a minute. This is my style. Styles upon styles upon styles is what I have. In case you don't know the Pfeiffer, you just don't know the half. All right. Let's do this. And then I'm going to grab this whole bottom line here. I'm going to make it light. And then step it back a piece. Yo, now it's gangster. Oh my God, it's so delicious. All right, I'm gonna take this, and yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and save that. Actually, no, I'm gonna do my weird tweaker maneuver. My crayons are gonna end up on the other screen because it does that to me just to irritate my life. But let's do that and that. There we go. Now we're cooking with Pam. So let's go and do Beto's thing now. Let me make a new scene. And I'm going to call this browser just so you can see. And then I'm going to poop on a camera. And then I'm going to switch this to tall. And then I'm going to go grab me a browser window using screen share overlay button down here on the bottom. Pop it right here. And then right here. And then switch this to Chrome. Chrome. Oh, God, I hate when I press that. I always do that. All right, here we go. Now we're in Chrome. So you got choices, Streamlabs, Stream Elements. I'll just do Streamlabs because it's the easiest to explain it, but Stream Elements is actually better. Anywho, now, unfortunately, this is set up to my personal account. But anyway, you just go to the main home page, and then you can click on widgets. There we go. Hit alert box. There we go. And then from the alert box, you can click your thing. It gives you the full instructions on how to make it, but it's relatively simple. All right. So going out right now, here's why I don't like these guys now. They're kind of irritating. They're trying really hard to get you to sign up for their stupid program that you don't need. So now they're kind of hiding the streamer boxes and the alert widgets and stuff like that in just areas that don't really matter. But yeah, let me strip this and just go to .com. There you go. That's important. Make sure you just go straight to .com, and then you can go to your widget box and just hit alert box. And then it's going to ask you to log in. And no, I don't want no pop-ups, people. Depending on how you have your stuff set up, it's going to make you log in with either YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. There's some other one, but my brain just skipped it. I don't know what the other one is now, right now. Anyway, it's dragging today. What's going on? Wake your ass up. See, this is normally a very simple process, and today it's dragging. What are you doing? There we go. All right, so once you get to here, you just press on all widgets, and then, no, I take it back. There should be one that says alert box. There it is. It's the top one. You click on the alert box, and there's a thing right here that says copy this URL. All you have to do is copy that URL. And now it's in your fingers. So back in Ecamm, and look, just to make sure that you can see that, hold on, let me do this again. It will be obfuscated because they realize that a lot of people teach this online. So all you do is click to copy that URL. Don't look at it because, well, you can look at it, but you don't want to show that to anybody else. That's what that pop-up tells you. So anyway, you just copy that. It's simple. That's the end of it. Log into Streamlabs, go to alert box, copy that URL. That's it. Then come back over to Ecamm and press on this widget right here. And then paste this in right here. And then you can do what you want. I hit high res. I'll hit keep running. And then you say add the widget overlay. I'm going to put this in the top for right now. Now, we're going to come back over to this screen. Wrong. Come back over to this screen. And then there's the widget. It's kind of huge and in my way, but I'm going to just shrink it up a little bit. And then I'll stick it in this corner right here. And then if someone were to send a super chat, there it is. Okay, that's a little bit small, so I can make it bigger. Say I want it to be this big. The only thing that I would do is I'm going to do another test. Let's set my alert delay to faster, make it shorter, and then I will go ahead and do a test. while I have it open, you grab your little widget thing and try to shrink the box to size. It just makes your life easier. I have a kind of a guesstimation. Let me do that again. Right? This is why I don't like, it's just a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt to do this for a little bit of reward. There is psychology that states, you know, once somebody starts it, then other people would jump in. But I don't know. I think it's just irritating. I'm just saying. You know, your host is doing their thing. They're talking, whatever, and they got to keep stopping because the button's going off all the time. And yeah, you can just say, you know, thanks in verbal confirmation. But I mean, yeah, there is something to it, but I've definitely watched streams where it's completely obnoxious because it just goes on and on and on, and it seems to never stop. So you can set it so that the super chat has to have a certain threshold. You can set it so like if somebody was to buy a new merch from the merch store, you know, that kind of stuff pops up. But yeah, you can kind of design it however you want. You can even design it as a side-by-side, which is going to break my crop. Oh, no, that's still good. And there's all types of looks. Nerd or Die, Owned, Stream Elements again. There's thousands. You can even go to Etsy or Fiverr and have somebody build one out for you. But yeah, there you go. That is the difficultness of adding a widget. It's that simple. It's drag and drop. Okay. Yeah, to me, that one is a tough one because there's definitely science behind if one person, you know, gets on the dance floor, everybody else gets on the dance floor. It's kind of like that, but I don't know. I think for your regular viewers, or if you have a mixed martial channel where you have people that are paid members, right, they probably get irritated watching the stream stop every 5 seconds because somebody, you know, sent you $2. I don't know. It's weird. That's a tough one. Why did I stick Paul in here? I'm taking it out. Anyway, so what I did was I created a new group, and I'm adding these two things in here real quick, and then we're going to dip out of this. Hey, stay here. I think so. This is me. This is complete. That is such a fan. Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that popped up automatically because I had a button that says load the last super chat. But to Beto's comment, I think it's better to do it through the microphone because that's me talking to you, right? I'm like, yo, fam, I appreciate you, whatever. I think that's better. That's just me. And some people do both. Right? I think majority of the people do both, but there are people that just let it pop and don't say nothing because they're busy doing what they're doing. And so I think that's what it's for. It was designed for like the gamer things, but yeah. So Roy, what I did is if you notice, I stuck it in all scenes at the top. So that way it doesn't matter where I am when it comes through. So yeah, it's a totable thing. Can multiple overlays, widgets, or other elements be run? Yeah, absolutely. How do you do it without overloading Ecamm? Mac Studio, M2 Mac Mini Pro, MacBook Pro M2. Yeah, the Ecamm only gets overloaded if you're still stuck with Intel, and that's not Ecamm's fault. That's Intel. Like, but any Mac Mini, this baby 2020 Mac Mini over here sitting on the side can do all of that stuff without even having to blink. But the old Intel machines, it's the graphics card, it's the memory management. The reason why Apple ended up making their own stuff is because Intel was up. Good question, John Michael. Absolutely good question. Nowadays, I just saw like a couple people in the Facebook group picked up brand new Mac Minis for like $300. You know, the October 2020 Mac Minis for like $300. There's no reason for anyone to still be running on the Intel because if today is Friday, holiday weekend, well, not really, but close. If you're a grown up and you can't make $300 in the weekend, I have different conversations for you. That's just me. I'm just saying. And there you go. There you go. Sorry, I didn't know you caught that, Roy. Oh. I'm assuming you mean M2. If you have a Mac Mini M2, you could do all of that stuff. You can put 75 widgets on, 11 guests, run Final Cut, After Effects, and DaVinci all at the same time, and it won't even blink. I'm just saying. When I got my Mac Mini, that one of the first things I did was open 72 apps at one time. And it was like, sucker, you don't know me. So yeah, that you don't have a problem. You have nothing to worry about. All right, so we need one more piece of element. Let me do this real quick. La 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 la. I'm gonna grab this. We're gonna have to go further because Paul's gonna get mad at us about demo and sidetracking. All right, cool. You know, I just do that. It's your show. You do it your way. This is my way. Okay? This is my way. All right, so anyway, I'm going to add this in here so that they're all stuck together. And I want you to be cognizant of the hierarchy here. I'll actually use the twirler measurement here. The hierarchy matters because if it's behind there, you can't see it. And if this is on top, then you can't see that. So make sure you got your hierarchy together. Once it's together, hit that little lock, and then everything is locked in place. All right, cool. Everything is locked in place. So now we're going to name this bad boy host. And then I'm going to grab this, drag it over. Dude, if you got the new Mac Studio, my homie Brady, who's here sometimes, Day in the Life Hawaii, he opened, what was it, 284 apps at one time on them and just went into the select all, open. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it doesn't even blink. It does not even blink. There you go. You don't need to upgrade. If you got an M1, you're still in the party. There you go. That's what I was trying to say, Sans. You're still in the party. All right. So let's grab this. We're gonna drop in the guest camera, and then we're gonna double click on this, and we're gonna change this. Paul Dunkel. Boom. So now we got our guest situation squared away. So now what I like to do is just grab this bottom two elements here. I'm going to copy those. And then I'm going to make this top part say co-host just so I can remember. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to boop in the guest camera, line it up with the center here, and then hit paste because I copied this. And if I drag these together, I need to make a folder. I need to put in that lower third, put in that title, drag these together and poop it in the center. So that's how I like to do, right? I'm going to come back to this guy. Actually, on this one, I don't have it because I have my widget down there. But yeah. Yeah, I have, mine is a M1, I don't know. I don't know. It is a 64 gig M1 Max. There it is. And it never complains about anything. I have yet to make it sad. It's crazy. Luis, camera face up in here. I don't know if he's here yet. Somewhere, if Mr. Luis camera face is here, he has the 1999 version of the M1, which now you can probably get for like $15.99, maybe $16. I don't think it dropped that much. And I don't think he's ever made it cry. And he has the base model Studio. So, yeah. The advantage of the Studio over the Mini, honestly, is you have more ports available from the gate, right? So you got 4 Thunderbolt 4s in the back, 2 USB-Cs in the front, 2 USB A's in the back, HDMI in the back, plus 10 gig Ethernet, which I use. Most people don't have a 10 gig network set up, but I do. And yeah, it's gangster. To me, $2,000 for a streaming machine is not bad. And I think most people could get there if they would just stop lying to themselves. It shouldn't take you more than a month or two to come up with that. And the base model will spank for most people. I think most people tell themselves they can't pull that off in 2 months, but I know for a fact they could. They just got to be willing to do something that they probably think they're too good for, like cutting grass or painting or washing cars. I mean, so I did that when I was 13. And 13 years ago, not 13, 34 years ago, at 13, $2,000 was probably equal to about 10. So I'm just saying, somebody lying to themselves. Just saying. Eric, I'm holding on that's why I didn't get a new Mac Studio. I'm holding for the M3. Paul just got his M2 Studio. Boom. Boom. All right. M1 Base Studio has yet to get angry too. Slows my mini, but never my studio. There you go. You're right. You're right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Camera Face said it's a M1 Max 64 SH. Oh, so you have the same as me. I thought you had the base one. No, my bad. Right, George? Every time. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Victor. Victor, this is what I said early in the stream. You kind of missed it, but you actually said it in a more concise way. So I'm going to repeat it the Victor way. Many people have stuff that they barely use, but they want to plug it into their hub and just leave it hanging out there, and you're not really using it. And yeah, it's not necessary. There's some of us, myself included, that have an Ember coffee mug, but I don't plug it to my machine. I plug it to a power brick somewhere. And they say, oh, well, I need to use this port because it charges my lights. You can buy extension cords with USB ports on them. This right here. This Belkin has 4 USB ports on it. Yeah, just do that. Like, don't plug that thing into that thing and just have it sitting there cooking, Lauryn Hill. Somebody would get that. Somebody would get that. Don't just have that thing plugged in for no reason, doing nothing. It's kind of silly, and it's bad for your health. Anyway, good. Thank you, Victor. You were correct. Dude, that machine is gorgeous. I just gave up my Air. 9 cameras down to 4 and only use 2. See? That's what I'm saying. Mine's is Max. Absolutely. Yes, you can. I have the adapter right here in my drawer. I absolutely have the adapter in my drawer. We're not building our own Macs anymore. It's not worth it. All the people that were into Hackintoshes, it's just not worth it. I used to build them all the time. Why? Human scale. The time and energy it takes to build that and make it work and do all of that, you can just buy a computer and be done. Anyway, let's go. So you kind of saw the majority of these overlays because I just drag things in. But I did want to point out this particular overlay here. This is a widget. You know what I'm saying? This is a widget. So similar to what I was showing Beto on like how to get down with widgets. Let's do something designy oriented like that. This is from overlays.uno. Now you can see my Ecamm interface is in the way, but if you hit Command tilde, like over here, Command tilde, you can make it go away so that you can see what you're doing. Get your ducks in a row, if you will. I don't know where everybody says that. What about them ducks? Why y'all messing with these ducks? All right, so you can have your weather overlay there. And well, let's go back to browser and I'll show you how we do that. Let's go to overlay.uno. So here's a bunch of different overlays they have there. You can go in and pick by function. So let's say I wanted to do something where I'm just chatting. I can have a just chat overlay. I can have a list of topics to which I would like to speak upon and just have that there already. You can just have a lower third. Now, somebody, I forgot who posited the question yesterday. It might have been, it might have been Michael, but somebody posited the question yesterday, like if something was a lower third. And yeah, if it sits on the bottom third of your screen, it's a lower third. If it's, and I know that it's funny because we, in the business, we tend to think of lower third as just a name badge, but it's not always the case. And lower third can be anything that's in the lower third of your screen. Upper third is what I just did. I just moved my widget into the upper third of my screen. So you normally don't see people call it that. We normally use different names because out of habits, we put things in the same spot, right? So a lot of people call things that are up in the corners or down in the corners as bugs. And then a lot of people will see anything that's floating in the middle, that's normally a panel, and then anything on the bottom is a lower third. And that's just to make the conversation easier. But the reality is you can put anything anywhere. So this is a really cool setup. I'll go to mine's, the ones that we've already built. Oh, I know what? Not logged in yet. That is why. That's why. That's what people say. Gotta love the watch. Gotta love the watch. All right. So these are ones that I've just built messing around. And this is one that we use all the time. And so what's really cool here, and again, Marshall covered some of this, but I'll show it further. If I grab this linky link right here, and then grab my phone and send it to Paul Duncan, just paste. If I paste that to Paul can make changes to that, right? But I'm going to copy this URL here, come back to here, click on the little globe, take that, paste it in. I like to hit 1920 by 1080. That's just me. You don't have to do that, but that's just me. And then I hit add the widget overlay. And then it's going to be like this. Now, somebody posited the question yesterday, can you have more than one? And the answer is yes, because watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this before I mess with it, and I'm going to basically see if I can do this. Option, drag it down to another layer. So now I have another copy. So they're together. I'm going to click on the top one. I'm going to hide the second one for a second. And I'm just going to crop this in. So I'm going to crop this over to here to where there is just that. I'm going to crop this down. Oh, it was Dan. Dan was the one who asked the question, can you have multiple widgets? Right now, on this particular display, I have two. Why do I have to like Paul? Man, this is why you don't let people you don't trust have access to fix your widgets. All right, so I'm not going to tweak on it too hard, but I can have that one there, and then I can go back over to the main screen where I was, grab this overlay widget, collect that, copy it, come back to where we were, paste it, let it load. All right, so that's two. Then I got this other one that I loaded on the bottom. I'm going to lock this one. I'm going to lock this one, move this one to the top, turn it on. And then I'm going to grab just, I want the size to stay the same. I'm going to option key, grab just the ticker. And then center that and then ground it. You see what I'm saying? So now we have 1, 2, 3 widgets. 2 of the widgets are an instance of the same widget. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be different, right? And if you guys are wondering, yes, those are real words, right? Makapono e kaunang, e ola ai kakao. Like they're real words. It's from a song. Uamau mekeo oka aina ikapono of Hawaii. Yeah, it's a song. It's a state song. Anyway, so yeah, you can have as many widgets as you want, and they're just HTML. So computer ain't even mad. My computer ain't even thinking about it. It don't care, you know. Look, we're gonna take this one step further. Let's do something really crazy here. Let's just say, in supposition, I wanted to see this work. Will it catch? Will it do it? Will it do it? Yeah, it did. This is a live web page. What I just stuck on here, watch me click this button and then press on something in the screen. And let's go to Final Cut Pro in live. Look, this is a live web page. And how did I do that? I dragged it from the browser. I went to the browser and dragged it in like a boss. Let's go one step further. All right, so I'm gonna go to ESPN, right? I'm gonna just grab this link right here. It's hard to see this up in the upper D corner. There's my mouse. Oh, you know what? Let me do something real quick. Because I want to make sure you guys are grokking what we're talking here, right? Because Ecamm is powerful, and people love to be talking spicy. I was like, that's because you don't know how to do it. I'm just saying. All right, let's go. Why do I? Oh, I know why. It's in a different spot. I always forget this. There it is. And then pointer. Let's go for stupid huge. Man, I thought it was in here. Why am I crazy? Oh, head pointer. That's crazy. Am I losing my brains? I could have sworn it was in there. Is it in display? Ah, there it is. It's in display. Let's embiggen the cursor for a second. Okay, look. I'm just going to grab this, pick it up, and drag it over here. I missed. See? It's under this gigantic pointer. I'm going to just place it right here. Give it a second to load, and boom, ESPN, the website. So at the bottom down here, if I smooth this over to turn it blue, now I'm controlling the page. And then we're going to go find out what's popping up in here. And I know see these socks. Cleveland. Oh, now we went to basketball. Let's click on the Celtics. Boom. There it is. Me having the sad face. Right? We can click on Mibble. And if you look at Mibble, you can see what's going on in this game real quick. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can literally run a web page as a widget right on top. People be like, I'm trying to display a web page, and so listen, just turn it into a widget. You can actually control the web page from in here. You know what I'm saying? If you want to show somebody how to fill something out, you can do all that. You could be right in here and just move these bad boys around. Now you turn this back down. Let me go back in real quick. Go on the bottom, turn it back to this, and now you have control over the actual page itself. Like that. Sorry, grabbed the wrong piece because my cursor's too huge. Let me undo that. Let me dip back out. Yeah, so if you pick it up now, you're just moving it. So yes, that's weird. That's all you can do with widgets. We just covered all kind of stuff you can do with widgets. So just know. Just know. I'm pretty sure Dan was the question that asked that question. Oh, you know what, Rich? That's a good thing. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's Chrome browser at that point, right? Let's see. Good question, Rich. So let's go in here. So Rich is positing the question, can you tab the browser? So let's put this in here. First of all, let's check out some right click in the blank space. Edit widget, reload widget, lock widget. Okay, so I just wanted to see if in this particular mode what would happen. Now, let's hit Command T. No, it doesn't understand tabs. That was a good question though, Rich. It does not understand tabs. Like it though. Man, that was a fantastic. I never thought about that. Anyway, back here. So we did that. Let's use this one. Duplicate that and then do host plus show. Then we're going to delete the guest. Beat it, Paul. All right. So that way you got space over here to show something if you wanted to. Windows and sauce. Thanks, Kev. Thanks. I want to hit on this thing right here to share another screen. And then I'm going to hit this bad boy right here. And let's pick a different thing. Let's bring up Road Central. All right, so we got the old Road Central right there. You know, so if I just want to be in here and show some stuff, you know, you can just get in there. If this doesn't fit, because this is too close to the edge, so that's where you see that white stuff from. If you put things at the edge of your browser, that white stuff would kind of leak in and be problematic. If I bring it here, you know, see, when I hit the edge, it does weird stuff. So just be cognizant of that. Float your panels where you want your panels to float. So I put it right back here. And then, again, hold the Option key to prettify it. So I can Option key tuck that. Tuck that. Boom, boom. And now we all tucked in. Tucked in. All right. So, you know, maybe I want to do something like that. And then look in here, grab that, bring it down. Boom. So I can, you know, talk about the various things in my little Streamer X setup, you know, check and see if there's some firmware today. Let's see. Oh, no, that's right here. Any available firmware? No, there's not. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can... This stuff is too easy, fam. I'm just saying, this stuff is too easy. Oh, yo, what's up, Ben? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. You guys, that was so good. We were at Card Party, and I was joking on the stream, and I was like, man, you came over here to do the stream, and nobody bought me no pizza. And then Ben showed up, and he brought his pizza, and it was freaking good. And totally needed it at that moment in time, because you would know, doing the convention, standing on your feet for hours on end, it gets exhausting. So good to see you, Ben. Thank you. How are the boys? His kids was all about Poke Life. They didn't care about nothing what we was doing. They just wanted to find those cards. Okay. You can use that. Yeah, that's super cool, man. I really love that. The fact that you can load a page and just sort of work it as a widget is really, really helpful. All right, let me show you guys a couple more stuffs, because it's still some confusion. Let me open my my controls again. I'm gonna bring up this sound effects and sound levels, because I want to pop sound levels on the screen for a second. let me do this and switch this to Ecamm Live Beta sound levels. So this is a thing that still comes up, right? Anybody that is using an interface like the Streamer X or like the Rodecaster Pro or Rodecaster Pro Duo, you probably do not need to use the system audio. The system audio is designed so that if I wanted noise to say come from that ESPN tab back over here, then I would probably use the system audio. But because we have interfaces that give us mix minus channels and are routing the system audio back through the interface, there is no need for us to use system audios. I just uninstall it because there is a thing when you say you don't have your English, when you don't have your mouse focused in Ecamm, the system audio will sometimes switch the internal Mac system to something known as Ecamm audio. At that point, if you're using Ecamm audio in virtual mic for Zoom or Teams or Discord or just as an interview, if you're a guest somewhere, it will cause your audio to go crazy because it's looping back into itself, right? You're sending the Ecamm audio back to itself, and it's no different than doing the infinite camera thing, right? You know, if you go into the elevator with your phone and you stand in front of the mirror and you go like this, right? You're going to see 97 copies of you going slow, 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 slow. Wait. What did I do? Oh, hold on. I just saw something from Jeff that I might be crazy, but let me go check something. I just got a message from someone. I got to just check something. It should take like 1 second. I'm assuming that it's correct, but yeah, he's crazy. That is too funny. That is too funny. Anyway, so yeah, just make sure that you're cognizant of that. If you have an interface that routes the audio back to itself, make sure that you turn off system audio. You don't need it. That is for someone who's using like a USB mic or something that doesn't have that thing. What do you mean by touching? There's no replacement for touching. I don't know. I'm sorry, I just don't understand the question. What do you mean by touching? Are you talking about like having the knobs on the button? I'm sorry, the English is not working 2 days in a row. Are you talking about using the knobs as volume knobs and stuff like that? Yeah, because that's the case. Yes, it works. Okay, yeah, you can use the knobs for volume buttons and things like that. Well, you technically can't be out of buttons because you can page, right? Right? David, you can page. So on the Stream Deck, here, you know what? Let's make English. Let's make English work. Let's make English work for everyone. Configure the Stream Deck. There's a new version of Stream Deck 3.0. This is me, people. This is where I get myself in trouble because I'm always like, yeah, update right away. I just hit the button and then sometimes it takes longer than it's supposed to. This one should be quick, so we'll let it do its thing. So what you can do is on this particular button, you can add a page, right? So you can do previous page or next page, right? So you can have a whole set there. Sorry, knew that was going to happen. You can have a whole nother set of buttons in the buttons by doing that, or actually by doing folders. Folders is even more logical. So I'll show you what I mean. And my brain's going to stop. I swear to you, my brain works. Just not today. You guys don't understand the drama of having so much stuff in your head that your brain doesn't work. There you go. That's what I was trying to do. So let's come here. Let's go folder. Create folder. Okay, and we're going to call this folder Dan. Let's go back up. Dan. That's the name of the folder. And then inside this folder, I'm going to go and add some more scenes. Or let's just do audio. So I'm going to put an audio file there, put an audio file there, and put an audio file there. And then on this particular one, I'm going to choose the file. Choose the false, Luke. Go to downloads. Yes. I hate you. And let's grab some audio. I have all of these Mr. Camera Junkie stuffs. And then we're going to do another one. Choose the file. I don't really like Stream Deck, but we're going to call it. I can't stand the Stream Deck sounds. I think they're so cheesy. I know people get mad at me when I say that, but hey, I just have a different echelon. Let's put it that way. That's a cool one, but that's slow build. You know what? We'll use that. That's good. That's fine. We don't want to waste time. All right, so this one I'm going to make it slow because this is going to be, make it quieter because that's going to be my like background music. And I'm going to do fade in, fade out. I'll just do fade out. And then come back to this one. We can do play, stop, overlap, start, read, loop, right? So overlap means you can make the sound come over top of another sound, but we'll leave this one at play, stop. But we'll take this one and we will definitely allow it to overlap. Okay, so now if I'm on my page here, go back, you'll see I got my intro scene, boom, got my whole scene, my mahalo scene. I got, these other couple windows added here. But if I pop into here, there's my Dan one. And then it goes good with this. So there you go. Now you know. Dan. Now you know. Yeah, dude. Where did Dan go? I mean David. Why did I say Dan? I mean David. Dan is a different Dan. But see what happens, Dan? You asked me so much questions. Your brain, you invaded my David space. Michelle, LBC Branding, we tease her constantly because she has a 6-button Stream Deck, but she gets down with that baby just using pages. I don't know how she does it. We tease her about her little Stream Deck all the time. So yes, you can definitely, I know, right? You can definitely put it in those pages. So yeah, cool. There we go. That was a good question. Whoever started that mess, that was Dan. It's your fault. You can. So the knobs, Dan, for your part of the question, in these here knobs, check this out. On mine, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm using this one as my zoom in and zoom out, right? And so I can control that. And then on this page, I have the actual zoom button, which is hop to it. But when I want to twerk it a little bit, I can do this. Now, here's the other thing. Want you to, let me line this up over here so you guys can see. This one right here, look at the overlay selection. See how it twirly twirl? So I can go to this. You can hear that noise. I press the button, overlay on, overlay off, right? So you can even do that. I can even make myself, that's Paul, hold on. Oh, that's just opening and closing. Haha. Didn't know that. Go like this. How fast can you press the button? Well, that shows you that Ecamm is quick. So yeah, that's the one thing cool about it. So you can absolutely take and put a audio slider onto the button, right? So you got all of these in here. You got play animations, you got play sound, stop sound, you got live demo mode, show switch profile, like they all up in here. You can just go to town, add whatever anything you like. If you go to the dials in Ecamm Live, you have select scene, you can put select overlay, select sound. But if you go to input level, put this right here, and then I have it set for my primary mic, but I'm not going to do that because that's going to F up this. I'm going to put on a song. And then we'll go to sound effects. And then roll the dial. Oh, wrong dial. It's so stupid. Why? Why you do that? I totally was working the wrong dial. There we go. I'm telling you, of all of the stream decks, I didn't think I would like this one. I thought it was a little bit stupid. Look, you can even mute it. Damn. But I actually love the stream deck, okay? And to be honest, what makes me super irritated is freaking El Guido sent me the wrong buttons. It's supposed to have purple buttons. I didn't even get my buttons. But the Stream Deck Plus is gangsta, 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 gangsta. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, there it is. Paul got it. I don't think Jeremy is here, but Jeremy just got in, as they say in the country folks. He just got his yesterday. So they rock. I mean, they're cheap and they're good. They're quite amazing balls. I would highly suggest anybody who has been contemplating getting something like that, you should definitely get something like that because they are quite amazed. They're just quite amazed. Where is the reigning Cajun? Da, da, da. Now that song is in my head. Here it is, screen share. Yes, there it is. Super bomb. You can just score them and they work amazing. That's on my list, the IEMs list. There's a kit.com list. There's the IEMs list. It's all in there. Yeah, dude. Actually, maybe get two. Oh yeah, Fargo is good, dude. That was the old school before we had, other ways of doing it. But yeah. My house song, it's ES, man. You know what it is? ES. The only problem I have with the Mi 6, well, okay, there's two problems. I have the Mi 6, and I don't like them. I'll tell you what. For two things. The cord is mad short. Like, anybody that's over 5'10", you're going to hate that cord. Just you're going to have to buy an extender. That's fine. But the other thing about that cord, which is weird because the sound quality is dope, the cord is stiff. It's stiff. Look at this cord. It's so flexy and nice and soft and, back to straight again. Right? On the Mi 6 cord, you bend that sucker, it's bent. It's just stiff. I do not like stiff chords. I do not like chords like this where they're stiff, which is why I switch all of my chords to braided, because braided chords aren't stiff. This one's just looped up. But braided chords are not stiff, right? They're just very flexible. I hate stiff chords because that's what causes the mess in your cable management, is when you got chords that are stiff AF. When you got chords that can just twirl up like such and then straighten right back out, then you don't get cable management issues. That music cord can hold up plants. Very true. Very true. The headphones sound fantastic. They actually sound great, but that cord is irritating. You be talking and you go to change positions and the cord be like this, all up, in your face, whatever. So I was over it real quick. Yeah, you definitely need an extension with that one. Actually, I would get an extension with any of them just for safety, because you'll forget. These are comfortable, and you'll forget you have in your head, and you'll go to pull away from your set, and you'll just yank everything off the floor. So I highly recommend some sort of extension cable like this. It's only like $3 extra for the extension cable, but that's where it allows you to plug out and then go answer the door, go to the bathroom, get a UPS package, whatever, come back and just jack back in. Highly suggest you get an extension cord. I think I even put extension cords on that link because of that. That will mess you up every time. Mess around and pull a sacrophiliac or something. Hey, it's 912. That's the one I got. I got the Amazon Basics extension cord. So I can reach the printer. There you go. There you go. All right, so what we was doing? See what happens, gang? We get to messing around. All right, so the other things is that your movie levels is in there, and I have mine muted because I was stopping my sound, but now I'm gonna put this back to 80. There we go. Now switching this over to sound effects. Sound effects is just simple. Just drag your stuff in. You can just use whatever you want to use. I tend to get mine from Epidemic Sound. YouTube has their own music at this point, and I like Artlist music, and some stuff you just make and put on a button, right? Sometimes you just need a button so you can hit that M, hit that P, just like that. You know what I'm saying? You can hit the U, S. What did I do? S. It's weird that it thinks this one is close to the edge. That's so strange. Anyway. No, now you're better. All right, so that's sound effects panel in a nutshell. Somebody was lurking this whole time. I'm glad we were able to wake you up. You were hiding all of this time. Yes, the extension cord is definitely helpful. Just trust you. And it's only I think the Amazon Basics is like $3 to $5. It fluctuates, but it's super cheap. Know that you can adjust individual levels for each one of these sounds that are in here just by clicking on a little cog wheel, and then the high key is there. And then, of course, you can loop something so that it never stops by turning on the little loop. So if you listen to this one, that's it, right? There's a little timer at the bottom. However, if I press the loop, ooh, stop that. It's not a clean loop though. So if you're trying to get a clean loop, that means that file will have to be edited because there's a space gap. We won't talk about that. If you want a clean loop, you got to clean it up in GarageBand or something. Right, Kevin? Only I wish. Sometimes I have these weird thoughts. I don't know if we should confess these things on the stream. Sometimes I have these weird thoughts where I'm like, if I had a jackpot, what would I do today? And it's a different thought every day because there's something else, weighing on the psyche. And I have really hilarious answers on different days. So one day we're in the room talking, just like today is a day. If you had hit the jackpot, you know, which is the mega bucks right now, is probably like around 50 million. If I hit the 50 million on any given day, like what would be my thing that I would do? And some days it's more crazy than others. It's a fun exercise. Sometimes it's like fly over to San Francisco and grab Paul and go have a good dinner. See, you guys thought I was going to say something mean. Just so ridiculous. All right, let's come back over here and let's do get a restraining order against Paul. I can do that for free now, Mary. Super funny. Super funny. Why does this guest one here? Get out of here. Oh, I know why. I pressed this button. Let's press the here. Let me show you comments and reaction real quick. I was looking at stream element type things the other day, and one of the things that I saw was there are better like comment aggregator things out now than there used to be, but I highly suggest not doing stuff like this. But you know, people do often ask us like, how do we put, you know, all the comments on the screen? And then Paul and I were you know, we're always going on about putting a Q colon, things like that. And that's because I can come here and hit a Q colon. I can see John Michael's questions sort of right away. You know, I can see Dan's questions or Kevin's questions. Boom, 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 boom. I use everything, Kev, by the way. I don't know why I missed that, but I have all three. So I have a Stream Deck Plus right here. I have a Stream Deck 32 or XL, and I have my Loop Deck. They're all right here next to me. So yeah, you can go in here and just find what you're looking for. Also, what you can do is if I come in here, I can, you know, highlight comments, right? Like I highlight those three, and then when I click on favorites, I can see that those are there. And then for Deo Gloria, when we finish, you can just unstar. And then when Kevin, when we finish, we unstar and then unstar. So that's the reason why we're always so make sure you put those in, because it really does help. And trust you me, on the streams like where, you know, KNG are doing their stuff and there's 400 people yapping about new features or whatever, it gets out of control real quick. I mean, like real fast and in a hurry. So that's it. Let's do, I mean, we kind of did a majority today, but you guys have any more questions, holla. If not, we can pop into the Discord for a little bit. And what do you mean three-dimensional gradients? What do you see? I can tell you without needing to know anything else, I can tell you that I can demonstrate. How about this? Let's make a new scene. Boom. Let's 86 the gradient. Boom. Let's put just the camera. Boom. If I'm here and I'm giving you valuable information on how you can medically, safely, and no kind of drama to your body, lose 45 pounds in 24 hours, it wouldn't matter if I came to you in the most disgusting camera with the most horrible lighting, decent audio, like nobody would care. Right? The quality of your streams comes from the content. Content is king. I'm a kingmaker. That was a joke. Content is king. So even if your camera was about like this much out of focus and, you know, your quality was all jacked, you know, you had like some disgusting LUT. I don't have any bad LUTs to make this look really obnoxious, but let's try it, right? nobody would care. Like nobody would care. No one's coming to your stream because you have a cool gradient background. If they are, then your stream sucks. I'm just saying. Like it's substance first. I don't even have any horrible nuts. It's substance first. So I don't know what you mean by 3D gradients. Anybody that says, "Oh, having a 3D gradient is good for your viewers" is lying, because your viewers don't care. You have to ask yourself this question: what do you watch, and why do you watch it? And when you're watching it, are you taking apart their overlays, their graphics, their fonts? If you find yourself watching a stream and taking apart that side, you either A, don't care what they're talking about, are not really interested, or you're just looking for drama. Because I have never turned on any TV show that I care about and started tearing apart their studio. I never even think about it. When I'm watching Manchester United transfer news, sometimes they're in their studio. Yesterday, the host had to do the stream from a coffee shop, but it was important because we got a new signing, right? So stop. Under normal circumstances, they're in their studio, right? And they're doing their thing, and sometimes they're in a different studio, but normally they're in their studio, they're doing their thing. But there are definitely times where something happens big time and they can't be in the studio, and they're outside in the parking lot at the grocery store grabbing the shopping for the wife and kids, and they just got to come and give that info because it's important. Right? So, for instance, I think this is one. Yeah, Stevie was not in the studio. The audio is bad because he was out, but what happened, and it was newsworthy. And I'm focused on what he's talking about. Right? So those things are just distractions. Define this. I'm going now we getting into the science. Define professional. I'm going to wait for this answer because it's that important to me. Define professional. There you go. Say it again, Jay. Say it again. Here's one that I always bring to mind. And I'm probably not going to be able to find one because the last time I looked for one, I couldn't find one because it's been a minute. But let me see if I can find one. He's been doing better. I have to go to a really, really old one. But it was only like last year did he change it up. These ones are all no, these ones are all his studio. Tom will do streams from his kitchen with a MacBook, a Logitech C920, and a Yeti. But Tom has, it's not going to show. Tom has 3.6 million subs. And for a long time, he would do tons of streams from his kitchen with the MacBook Pro, a Logitech C920, and the Yeti. Tom is a billionaire. I'm going to say this again. Tom is a Billionaire billionaire. He could buy anything he wants. and he does his streams often from his kitchen with the MacBook Pro Intel, a C920, and the Yeti. Why? Because the information he needs to get out to his people is far more valuable than him giving himself Viagra side effects because his stuff looks quote unquote professional. You know what I'm saying? No such thing. So why you can't say that I want it to be perfect, even though I know perfect doesn't exist. I mean, that's a circular equation. It's a circular equation, right? Like, I mean, let's get real. Let's get real. There's a circular equation. I do understand this because I am recovering perfectionist, as Alec likes to call it. But I come to the understanding that the stuff that you put out for the people that need it when they need it is far more valuable than your ego. You 100%. You can do it before you have a following if it's good. Right? What kind of studio did Gandhi have? What kind of YouTube setup did Oprah have? Phil Donahue. Jesus. I mean, you think about it. Your man started with 12. Now he has 3/4 of the world. He's not even here. Y'all got it wrong, man. Y'all got it wrong. With that, I'll see you next week.
Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam.